Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. What's the date today?
Second July, ma'am.
Yes, 2nd July. So what was the topic of discussion yesterday, students?
Friction, ma'am.
Yes, friction. Correct. And friction, what we learned yesterday in the class? Remaining students can answer.
Ma'am, friction. What is friction? Types of friction.
Ah.
Then they're based on two categories, and we learn the laws of static friction.
Yes, very good. What about others? Hmm? Yes? Any response other than Dhruti and Aditi? Anybody else? What are the principles what we discussed yesterday in the class? What was the principle? What are they? What are they? What are the students? Yes, students, tell me what are the laws of friction yesterday we discussed. Under two categories, we started our discussion. The laws of friction are divided into static friction and dynamic friction. What is static friction all about? Deals with? It deals with the bodies at rest. At rest. Static money which is at rest. And this is at motion or kinetic. Correct? Yes or no, students?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yes. Yes. What is that we understood? The 5 laws. First is telling that friction is always in the direction opposite to the motion, correct? Or opposite to the applied load. If the load is applied in the direction W as a load of value W in the direction as you can see on the screen, so the resisting force as a friction will be in the opposite direction as F. And the magnitude of force of friction is always equal. This F is always equal to W. The second law says. And the third law says that F, the ratio of frictional force to the ratio of normal reaction, is a constant value. Do you remember, students, yesterday? Remember, I drew a diagram and giving a relationship between the F and N. Drew a rectangular box and there is a force or a W load acting, correct? Yes or no? And there's always an equal and opposite reaction for that load, and the friction will be in the direction. Since it is static, you can take any direction of F or the friction So this is given by a relation. This is resultant, you get it as resultant. This I'll be teaching you next. So the ratio of friction to the resultant, you call it as a constant. A constant correlation is being derived. That is being told here. F by N is equal to constant. The force of friction is independent of the area. Yes, but it is dependent on the roughness. How to calculate the roughness of the surface? It will be given in the next definition. You will be talking about the coefficient values. Okay. Force of friction is independent of contact area, but it is dependent on the roughness of the surface. So that is all about the law of static friction. Now, moving further. Law of dynamic friction. What do you understand dynamic? It is nothing but in motion. The force of friction always acts in a direction opposite to that in which the body is moving. Correct now, students? It follows the same. It follows the same of the first law of this. Of the static friction, it follows the same. Here also F is opposite to W. Here also the pulling force W is opposite to F. The force of magnetic or kinetic friction bears a constant ratio normal to the normal reaction between the two surfaces, but this is slightly less than that in case of limiting friction. So let me make it more clear. Now, here we are talking about the constant. There also we spoke about a constant. What is the constant? We said that F by N is equal to constant. F by N is equal to constant. Correct? Here also the magnitude of kinetic friction. Why it is kinetic? It is moving friction. It is a moving friction. Kinetic friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the two surfaces. It is the same thing. It bears a normal reaction which is equal to constant. This ratio is slightly less than in case of limiting friction. I'll explain that how it is limiting friction. Limiting friction in case of Where is limiting friction you find, students? You can see here limiting friction is in the static friction, right? And what is kinetic friction? Limiting friction is in the static condition, is the static condition at the rest, whereas kinetic friction is at the moving condition. So what is happening? But this ratio is slightly less than the ratio of limiting friction. So what do you say? You're following, students, what I'm telling? See, here also F by N is equal to C. Here also F by N is equal to C. But F is a kinetic friction. Here F is a limiting friction. Now, which one is greater and which one is lesser accordingly?
Limiting is greater, ma'am.
Yes, limiting is greater. This value is greater. This is giving a greater value than the dynamic friction value of constant, or F by N is equal to C. That is what been told. This ratio is less than the limiting friction. Okay. The friction force remains constant for moderate speeds but decreases slightly with the increase in speed. The friction force remains constant. It will, if for example, if a car is moving with a moderate speed, average speed. Think about a car moving. A car is moving with a moderate speed. Right? You take this and there's a car movement taking place. So this is moving at a, these wheels are touched to the ground. Otherwise you don't find friction developed. Okay. So this is moving at a moderate speed. So what happens when it is moving with a moderate speed? What happens when it is moving with a moderate speed? What happens? What happens? The friction remains constant. The friction force remains constant, but decreases slightly with increase in speed. So this will remain at this point, the constant F by N. F by N will remain as a constant value throughout the length, throughout the speed length, it will remain the same. If the vehicle slows down, if it slows down, what happens to the friction force or the constant? What happens? Will that decrease or increase? Sorry.
Increase,
But
ma'am.
yes, decreases slightly with the increase in speed. So the force or the constant will increase with decrease, sorry, will decrease with the increase in speed. How can you say how or substantiate this decrease in increase in speed of the vehicle? How it is possible? Yes? How it is going to happen? Friction force remains constant for moderate speed, but decreases slightly. This friction constant or the force remains, friction force decreases, will decrease when the speed increases for the vehicle. Friction force reduces. Friction force, which was here constant, will reduce when the speed of vehicle decreases. Sorry, what did I say? Please 1 second, I'll check. But decreases slightly with the increase in speed, correct. With speed increasing. With speed increasing. When the speed increases, friction force reduces. Why? Because the point of contact generated between, for a moving vehicle only, students, for a point of contact between the surface and the wheel, the contact coming into contact is minimum or minimal. So when it is a minimal point of contact is generated, the definitely friction force will reduce. Friction of forces reduce when the speed increases. So these are the three important laws of friction. I'll repeat once again. The first laws of friction is telling that your friction force is always in the opposite direction of the body moving. Second thing is definitely F by N is equal to C. But this here in the case of dynamic, it is kinetic friction. In static, it is limiting friction. So limiting kinetic friction by the normal reaction is a constant. Here also limiting friction by constant by normal reaction is also a constant. But this value limiting friction by normal, which is a constant, is greater than the kinetic friction by normal reaction, which is equal to constant. So you find this is slightly less than the case of limiting friction. And the frictional force remains constant at a moderate speed, at an average speed. If you are moving at 30 km per annum, per hour, sorry, it will remain the same, but moderate speed, but decreases slightly with the increase in speed. The value will decrease because the point of contact coming into the surfaces is less. So therefore the value will decrease. So did you all understood, students, regarding the static friction and the dynamic friction? Is that clear to you all? Everybody in the class? Any
Yes,
doubt?
ma'am.
Any doubt here? Anybody?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now let me see the next what do you say? Next topic of your syllabus. What is the next topic of your syllabus? Do you know what is the next topic of your syllabus? Yes or no? Yes or no, students? It is nothing but we have to talk about the few definitions. We have to talk about the few definitions because next is derivation. Derivations, small derivations are there. To take up these derivations, I have to give some input of the definitions, which is very, very important, right? So let me start with limiting friction. Okay, let me start with limiting friction. So where do you come across? Now we understood where this limiting friction will come. Where this limiting friction will come, under what condition? Under static condition. The self-adjusting, opposing or resisting friction which opposes the sliding motion of one body over the other has a limiting value and is applied force exceeds this value, the body begins to move. This limiting value of the force is called as limiting friction, and at this stage the body is in limiting equilibrium and just on the verge of motion. Now can you tell me what is that? What is happening in limiting friction? Yes? What is happening? The self-adjusting, opposing and resisting friction F, which opposes the sliding of the motion and has a limiting value, and if the applied force exceeds this value, the body will start moving. What do you understand with that, students? Yesterday we saw that video in the the static condition. What was happening? A person was moving a table. He stood at a place. Okay. Now, you think the same picture I'll draw here, something like that, similar. I'll take different color, a ground and a box, a huge box. Okay, students, and there's a person who is pulling this box, right? This is a huge weighing box. Let me call it as W. A person is pulling. Now if the person starts pulling, when the person starts pulling this box, initially it will not move, correct? It will not, because the weight of the person is lesser than the weight of the pulling energy required. Okay, so the friction will be at rest. There's no friction, but friction will be there at the between the ground and the surface. But there is no friction or moving friction taking place. Right? Now, if I increase with one more person to pull the box, right? I'll take 2W. Then there is a movement, immediate movement that may take place, but in the opposite direction, the friction will appear. Correct? Did you get? A box is being pulled and you require 2 persons. Till then, before then, if with a person of 1 person who is pulling this box may not be able to pull the box. You require one more person who starts pulling, right? Now, what happens when the pulling starts? If 2W, I say that 2W is greater than F, then you call it as a crossing the limiting friction, crossing the limiting friction. Read the line once again now, you may understand. Clear these lines. 1 second, students. Yes, now it is clear. Now I'll read the lines. The self-adjusting, opposing and resisting friction which opposes the sliding motion of one body over the other with a limiting value, and if the applied force exceeds this value, right? When I started applying with the one force, it was not able to pull, right? I was not able to pull. And if the applied force exceeds this value, which value? Which value? Limiting value. The body begins to move. That is, I'll add another plus or some value. I'll add some value which will become as 2W. Fine. Exceed this value, the body begins to move. Immediately the body will start moving. And if the applied force exceeds this value, the body begins to move. This limiting value of the force is called the limiting friction. So what has happened? What has happened as a limiting value? What it is limiting? Actually, according to your law, F should be equal to W. Am I correct? When this is not happening, F is equal to W, when it is crossing the friction value or the limiting value of F, here what happened? The friction started when you have a value of 2W. But this cannot happen. So you are crossing the limiting value. That is what been told. Exceeds this value. Then you call it as a limiting friction. Did you all follow this concept, students? Limiting friction concept. But all this happens in static condition only. It's a verge. It's just a movement. Small. Immediately from rest to movement it will take. Limiting value of the force is called as limiting friction, and at this point or at this stage, limiting equilibrium and verge of motion, it will just start moving. Which was at rest, by applying a force, right, it will start moving. Fine. Did you follow this, students? Any doubt? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine, good. Next, I'll go with the coefficient of friction. Coefficient is, I was telling, we had to define the surface of the ground which is in contact with the body, correct? Now, to understand what is the coefficient of friction, this is first definition was limiting friction. Next, second definition is the coefficient of friction. It is the constant ratio which the limiting friction F, limiting friction is on the verge of motion. Limiting friction F bears to the normal reaction as shown in the figure, where a body of a weight is in equilibrium under the applied force and the frictional force. Okay, before going to this diagram, let us understand with this. And this is very clear. Now you can see a box W having a weight of applied load as W, and opposite to that, the resisting load will be N. Correct? Normal reaction N. N is equal to normal reaction. Normal reaction. Correct? So equivalent opposite reaction will be there. When you are applying a load of W, to resist that load, you will be having a value of N in the opposite direction. Now, the same box is being pulled by value of P. So what is happening? Under the limiting friction only, it is experiencing a force of friction force of F. Correct? Now, isn't it representing the triangle? Isn't it representing a triangle? This part, this is N and this is F. So if I complete a triangle, I get a triangle as a hypotenuse as R, one side as N, one side as F. Correct? So F by N, which we call it as the ratio or the constant between the frictional force by the normal reaction, is which is equal to constant. That is, we are bringing out the relationship between the frictional force and the normal reaction. F is the frictional force. Keep in mind, students, it is a frictional force, and N is a normal reaction. Right? Together, if I take the resultant, I'll get it as a R, forming a right angle triangle. And this coefficient value is equal to 0 for smooth surface. Do you agree? Do you agree, students? For any smooth surface, the value of coefficient is 0. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Because you don't find any frictional force developed. Since the surface is smooth, it can easily slide. There's no frictional force developed. So you find coefficient of friction has to be 0. So what is that you understood? Limiting friction as? It is the friction which is just a verge of motion. To understand literally or practically, it's a next verge of motion. Just on the verge of motion, you find the limiting friction. Or you can say that when the value of friction or when the value of applied load exceeds the frictional values, when value of limiting load or the load applied exceeds the frictional force, then you call it as a, then you could say that the body is in motion or it is on the verge of motion. Okay. The second thing is coefficient of friction. What is coefficient of friction? It is again nothing but ratio of force by frictional force by normal reaction. How do you define? For the smooth surface, what is the coefficient of smooth surface? Coefficient of friction for smooth surface? What's the value? 0. So you find the definition of coefficient of friction. They ask these questions, students, definitions. And so types of friction is now known to you all now. Now this is very, very important definition as a third definition. As a third definition. Angle of friction as a, we represent it as phi. Right? Now let us again consider it. Before going with that, all that, I'll retain the same diagram. Okay, this is a block which is a applied load as W. Load is applied here. The load is applied here. Load of W is applied. Okay, and a force of P is being pulled. Think that you are pulling this box. So when W is coming, you find normal reaction, opposite direction. When P is coming, F is coming in opposite direction. Okay, everything should be in opposite direction. And you will find the resultant, right? Resultant. How do you find the resultant? For example, this is F. I'll redraw this. This is N. So this forms a sides of a triangle, right? Yes or no, students? And this will be resultant R. I can complete with a right angle triangle and call this angle as phi. Angle of response. Angle of response. So what is the phi value? From the definition, from the figure, tan phi is equal to, tan phi is equal to, what is the value you can give? Or the expression you can give, not value, expression. What's the expression you can give for tan phi?
AD by BA, ma'am.
Yeah, this is F. I say F. Opposite is F. F by N.
N.
Yes. What is F? F is a frictional force. What is N? Normal reaction. It's a normal reaction. You can see in the figure, F is frictional force, N is normal reaction. Therefore, phi is what? Phi is defined as an angle of repose. Angle of not response, it is repose. Angle of friction, sorry, angle of friction. It's an angle of friction because it is the angle formed between the frictional force and the normal. Okay, is the diagram clear with you? Angle of friction. So let us consider with a body diagram which is placed as over a rough surface and is subjected to external load P. The following forces are acting on it: self-weight W, external force P, frictional force F, and normal reaction N. See students, this is all very important to solve the problems. It is not that easy going. Okay, so all that with the geometry we can write as, with the taking the triangle of ABD, we have tan phi is equal to AD by AB and F by N is equal to mu. What is mu? It's a constant. It's a constant. Earlier we have defined the laws of friction, correct? F by N is equal to mu. Yes or no, students? It's a constant.
Yes.
In the laws of friction we have defined. So also we can say that tan phi is equal to mu. Because when this is equal to mu, definitely tan phi is equal to mu. So what is angle of friction, students? Where do you find the angle of friction? Angle of friction, it is an angle which is subtended between the resultant and the normal, or resultant and the normal. Angle of friction. Angle of friction for two contacting surface is the angle between the resultant and the normal reaction. You can see the definition here. You can see the definition here. The angle of friction of two contacting surface is the angle between the resultant and the normal reaction. Did you follow? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what did we study? First one is limiting friction. Correct? Second one is coefficient of friction. Then third one is angle of friction. Angle of friction. And the last one is, last but one more is there. Next is cone of friction, that I will be talking later. Next is angle of repose, theta. Angle of repose. This is the fourth definition. Very commonly they ask angle of repose. So this angle of repose, you can see here. You can see what is this. At first I'll explain this figure. You can see there's a block, students. This is a block. Okay, you have a wooden block like that. You have a horizontal surface. This is placed on the inclined surface. Inclined surface. It's placed on an inclined surface. Okay. Now the block is on the verge of moving. It's not in moving condition, but in the static condition, right? There is a friction F and normal reaction to the load, self load or self weight of the body. And this is y axis and this is x axis. This is x axis and this is y axis, right? Now you can see here the angle theta is the angle between the vertical axis and axis on its own plane with the vertical force W. This theta, when you geometrically, if you calculate and complete the calculating the angles, you can see this to be the value of theta. Right? Yes, student, I'll tell you how it is. Okay, this is the geometry given in the figure given in the derivation. You find a block, right? So actually what happens, this theta, at this point of theta, no, the block will not move. or just in the verge of movement, it will start moving. That is a point of angle of repose. Now, if you have a blue book, you slide, you keep a pencil or an eraser on the plane, on the book's side, wrapper side, and you just try to tilt, it will not move. The rubber will not pass down. It will be in touch. Further, if you incline, it will start, it may fall down. There is a movement of the rubber taking place. That is all it is involving the concept, right? So to understand more, well, let us study this. So when the plane is inclined to the horizontal by certain angle, the body placed on it will remain at rest up to a certain angle of inclination. So it is at some point you are inclining and it is at a point of rest. It is a point of rest beyond which the body just begins to move. Further, if I incline, it will start begin move. The maximum angle made by the inclined plane with the horizontal when the body placed on that plane is just a point of sliding down the plane. This word, student, just is very important. On the verge of falling down, on the verge of moving down taking place. This angle we call it as angle of repose. Repose means what? Sleep which is disturbed at that particular angle of inclination. That is verge of falling. It's a verge of falling. And so let us move with the derivation. Okay, students. Now applying equilibrium equations for this. Why I have to calculate? Because I have to calculate what is theta. Finally, I have to calculate what is theta. What is theta? Theta is nothing but angle of repose. Phi is what? Angle of friction. So don't get confused with angle of repose and angle of friction. So to understand, now we have to apply resolving all the forces on x-axis. This is your x-axis, students. Okay. So right side, this F is moving to the right side. So I take it as minus F. I am resolving the forces with respect to this x and y axis, this F, x and y axis. Okay, minus F. Then you resolve this with respect to x axis, it will be W cos 90 minus theta. What is W cos 90 minus theta? That is sin theta. Correct? So you get this as W sin theta is equal to 0. Therefore, F is equal to friction force is equal to W sin theta. Right? Is that correct? Did you follow the step, students? Only resolving the W component. Did you follow? No response?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now resolving like that, similarly with the vertical component. With the vertical component you find N and W. You resolve it, you find the expression as N is equal to W cos theta. Correct? Fine. Now we know this, already we know this constant is equal to F by N. Substitute the expression for F and F, substitute the expression for N. What do you get? Mu is equal to tan theta. What already we know that mu is also known as tan phi, isn't it? So tan phi is equal to tan theta. Therefore tan get cancels. You get phi is equal to theta. Phi is equal to theta. Telling that angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. So what did you do at first? How did you carry out? Tell me. You are not writing, I know. You tell me at least. Yes, students, tell me.
Ma'am, we have to take the conditions of equilibrium, ma'am.
Yes.
And then we have to resolve the forces in x-axis and y-axis. We'll get the value of F and N. We know that mu is equal to tan phi. So tan phi is equal to tan theta. So we'll get theta is equal to phi, ma'am.
Yes. Theta is equal to phi. What is theta? Expression of theta is what?
Angle of friction. Angle of repose, ma'am.
Yes, phi is angle of repose or friction? Friction.
Phi
And
is
theta is,
angle of friction, ma'am.
repeat. Repeat. Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, phi is angle of friction and theta is angle of repose, ma'am.
Yes. You can see here once again. How about others? Angle of friction and angle of repose. Phi is equal to angle of friction and theta is equal to angle of repose. From the diagram also you can see here. Theta is equal to angle of repose. Okay. Now what about others? Others have to interact. There is no option like easy going. Many were not there in the class yesterday. Yes, tell me students. Aditi?
Yes, ma'am.
Answer your attendance and you can leave the meeting.
Present, ma'am.
Aditya?
Present, ma'am.
Aditya Rao Likit? Karan? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Charan S is there?
Present.
Yes, ma'am.
Present, ma'am. Ma'am, Likit present, ma'am. Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes. Karuna?
Ma'am,
Excuse
Geeta
me, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Likit also present, ma'am.
Geeta?
present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Likit.
Ma'am, Geeta.
Ishan?
Present, ma'am.
Karthik P? Pawan P?
Present, ma'am.
Pranav?
Present, ma'am.
Akash?
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am, Pawan P present, ma'am.
Sheka?
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Rishika?
ma'am, Pawan is present, ma'am.
Rohit?
Present, ma'am.
Saida?
Present, ma'am.
Triparna?
Present, ma'am.
Vasant?
Present, ma'am.
Vimala?
Present, ma'am.
Abhishek?
Present, ma'am.
Arvind? Bharat?
Present, ma'am. Bharat
Chetan?
present, ma'am.
Chetan? Dhruva? Harini?
Present, ma'am.
Then? Manish? Mohit? Mokshagna? Nitish?
Present, ma'am.
Pawan Kumar?
Present, ma'am.
Prashant? Prashant?
010 present, ma'am.
01?
Ma'am, Moksha present, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, Karthik present.
Pritam present, ma'am.
Vamshi? Vikas?
Present, ma'am.
Ashish?
Present, ma'am. Ma'am, okay.
Nandu?
Present, ma'am.
Charan K?
Present, ma'am.
Charan K?
Present.
Gulam? Gurumurthy?
Present, ma'am. Gulam present, ma'am.
Present,
Prajwal?
ma'am. 1 hour present, ma'am.
Prajwal? Pramukh?
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Fahad? Darshan?
Present, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, Pawan present, ma'am.
Yeah, I marked you, right?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, Karthik present.
I marked you present.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Karthik?
Yes, ma'am.
Karthik, I marked you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Ma'am, Pawan present, ma'am.
Pawan P, I marked you present. Thank you all. You can leave the meeting. Join the next class.